The average American moves 11.7 times in their lifetime. Some of those are in your childhood, some of those are when you're so young your entire belongings fit in a couple of suitcases, some of those are when you're just moving across town, some of those are before you have children, and some are before you own a home, etc, etc, etc. The point is that moving being one of the biggest possible changes you can make in your life, many people are unprepared for what's to come. The good news, we help hundreds of thousands of people move annually, and because of that, I know some of the most common mistakes that people make. This video is about learning other people's moving lessons without the scars. The first mistake is not vetting moving companies enough. Knowing what I know about the moving industry, it boggles my mind to think that many people think all the movers are the same, and you might as well just book the first one you come across. While most moving companies might do a fine job, there are some movers who have perfected the science of getting in front of unsuspecting customers for this very reason. Many times, these companies offer great prices and hope that you keep questions down to a minimum, which is why another huge moving mistake is simply going with the lowest estimate that you find. It's a red flag for sure. We have a whole video of moving scams that you can check out, but I'll go over what you need to make sure you do to vet these movers. Get referrals from friends, family, and coworkers. Remember though, a local mover may be great, but if you're moving out of state, you really want to hire a mover that specializes in interstate moves. Check their name on the Better Business Bureau website. Make sure their US DOT number matches the displayed number on their moving trucks. Check on their license, insurance, and other data on the FMCSA website, which I'll link to, and check if they have a physical address. If you can't visit in person, try searching their address into Google Maps and use the street view to see if it looks like a real company operates there. Look at the reviews. Reputable movers may have some negative reviews, but you can usually trust a company that has at least a number of positive reviews, especially if you can confirm that they've been in business for a few years now. If you don't know where to start, I've linked our top picks of reputable interstate moving companies. If you're moving locally, I've also included a link to our page where you can search for your city and see what the best movers in your area are. The second mistake is not comparing apples to apples. For those who have never moved, comparing moving estimates from different companies can be mind-numbing. Estimates are full of numbers, industry jargon, and legal terms, and most of them are formatted differently. After you've gotten your estimates, take a few days, yes days, to compare them carefully and resist the urge to focus solely on the big numbers at the bottom of the page. Remember, estimates may include different items and services, each of which should be distinguishable from one another. If you don't understand something or aren't sure whether everything you've asked for has been included, make notes and ask questions until you get a satisfactory answer. Another huge mistake is waiting too long to book your movers. This is especially an issue if you're moving during peak season, which is between late May and early September. Movers book out, rental places run out of trucks, and moving containers sell out. If a company has one slot available to a date with high demand, you'll pay extra for that. If all reputable movers are booked, you may have to settle for a scammy mover that will charge way too much for a C-level crew and experience. So book early. And as an extra pro tip, if you can move in the fall or winter, rates are usually cheaper and you may be able to be offered things like a free month of storage or complimentary used boxes. The next mistake is not being organized. Local moves require a few weeks of planning, but if you're moving out of state, there are a ton of things to do. We have a video that guides you through an out-of-state move that can help you build out your to-do list, but in essence, get as much done as early as possible. In this case, procrastination can mean unnecessary stress and mistakes on the day that you're supposed to transport all of your belongings from inside your house to inside a new home. I recommend setting a reminder for 30 minutes every few days to pack away some of your items. You'll be grateful you did. You should definitely check out our moving out of state guide, but real quick, some of the things you should add to your to-do list. Notify banks and insurers about your move. Get your kids enrolled in their new school, schedule utility services at both homes, and book your movers. The next mistake we see a lot of people do is not considering all of their options. Okay, so it goes without saying that hiring reputable movers is going to save you a lot of stress because you're hiring professionals to move heavy furniture up and down stairs and skillfully load it into a truck, save space, and avoid damage. They'll also have a professional driver take your items and assign you a personal point of contact. The downside is that movers are the most expensive option for your move. So what do people do? Many times they'll book a mover that advertises the lowest prices. I go over exactly why it's a terrible idea to pick a mover on price alone in the moving scams video, but essentially if the moving company has little to no reputation and quotes you a price that's too too good to be true, there's a chance you'll be paying a lot more than originally quoted at the end of your move. The other option that people will gravitate to is renting a truck like a U-Haul. This option is totally fine if you have the manpower and are moving a short distance. But if you're moving more than, say, 100 miles, the cons start to outweigh the pros. So what options do I recommend? First, find out what your move should cost by using our movie cost calculator that's linked in the description. All you have to do is enter your origin, destination, move dates, and size, and you'll be given an instant ballpark figure for what your move should cost. You'll see options including professional movers and truck rentals, which I've just mentioned, but also moving containers and freight trailers. You'll notice that these are a bit cheaper than a professional mover. If an interstate moving company is out of budget, I would consider a moving container or freight trailer instead. These are sort of a hybrid option, where you still have to do the packing and loading yourself, just not the driving, since the company will pick up your container and take it to your destination. By understanding your options, you can avoid making the mistakes of either overpaying or overcommitting to unnecessary hard labor with the wrong moving method. The consequences of moving mistakes that you want to avoid are stress and regret. I already mentioned the importance of being organized, but even if you perfectly planned everything out, you may still not give yourself enough time. When you're budgeting your time for how long you think it should take to move out, double that time. And to move in, add 50% to that time. I'm serious. As much as we tell this to people, it feels almost unavoidable. So many people don't realize how long a move will actually take, especially if you're packing and loading things yourself. Running out of time or energy can lead to being a little less careful with your belongings, which of course can lead to damage. Don't be a hero. Give yourself more time than you think, get as much help as possible, and consider hiring professional movers or packers. Another mistake is not downsizing. We all get attached to things, but the sad truth is that many of them do little more than take up space without adding any value to our lives. And moving them is a huge waste of time and money. Luckily, there's downsizing. In short, it's all about unburdening yourself, helping those less fortunate, and reducing move time and move costs. It's simply a no-brainer. Another mistake that people make is choosing the wrong insurance. Interstate movers are required to offer both released value insurance, or valuation, and full value replacement coverage to their customers. Though released value protection is free, you'll only be reimbursed 60 cents per pound per article in the event of loss or damage, which occurs on roughly 1 in 5 moves. Full value replacement coverage is more comprehensive, but it's also more expensive, and it may not cover everything you think it should. So read the fine print carefully. I've linked a more detailed analysis on moving insurance in the description, but here are a few important things to know. Valuation is different on local and interstate moves. Your homeowner's or rentals policy may cover your move. You may be able to purchase coverage through a third-party insurance provider, and once your move has started, you can't change your policy. The next mistake that I really wanted to mention is not taking necessaries and irreplaceables with you. Imagine this: you've just spent 12 hours in the blistering July sun moving from one house to another. It's late and your family are dirty, worn out, and hungry. You decide to shower, change into clean clothes, order a pizza, and worry about unpacking and getting settled tomorrow. But you forgot to pack an essentials bag, and now you don't have clean clothes, fresh towels, soap, toothbrushes, pillows, or clean sheets, medications, pet food, etc. This isn't a complete list, but you get an idea. In addition to the essentials listed above, it's always a good idea to take irreplaceable items, important documents, jewelry, and valuable collections with you. As you see on this list, lots can go wrong, but that doesn't mean that things will go wrong. If you're organized, things can go well. And the most important thing is to put your move in the hands of people who have the experience and care to provide a quality service. For our top picks of best moving companies, check out our list linked in the description.